Hello and welcome to Bags of Action. My name is Pete and this is a 5-minute Bags of Action review of The Monster Squad from 1987. A young group of monster fanatics attempt to save their hometown from Count Dracula and his monsters. It's a great, simple premise. Now, this movie is a glaring omission from my childhood. I don't really understand how I didn't see it, because I virtually lived in the local video shop around the time this would have come out. And it sounds right up my street. So I was really pleased when it finally popped up on Amazon Prime Video. I'm a massive Shane Black fan, so this fills a sizable gap in my watching. It was directed by Fred Dekker, who directed Night of the Creeps and RoboCop 3. It was co-written by Dekker and Shane Black, or Black and Dekker, if you will. Dekker has also written Star Trek Enterprise episodes of Tales from the Crypt, and he also had story credits on Ricochet and House. Shane Black needs no introduction to this show. He's, of course, written Lethal Weapon in the same year as this, Long Kiss Goodnight, Last Boy Scout, Last Action Hero, and in recent years has become more of a writer-director on things like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Nice Guys, and Iron Man 3. It's interesting how their relationship, as they met in film school and they've worked together quite a bit. Initially, Dekker was the director and they co-wrote, but in recent years that's flipped. Black has been the director and they've co-written again. So they recently did a TV movie, a Western called Edge, and also they were responsible for the misfire that was The Predator, the most recent in that franchise, which we don't talk about if we can help it. But this is kind of where it all started for them, really. So who's in Monster Squad? Andre Gower, who's been in loads of TV and some films that I'd never heard of. Robby Kiger from Children of the Corn, and then he only actually did one more movie after this one. And then some of the adults, we got Stephen Macht, who was in Graveyard Shift and the Trancer movies. Duncan Regehr as Dracula. He's been in loads of TV, and I remember him very fondly as Charles in the series V. Tom Noonan is Frankenstein's monster. He was in FX, Manhunter, RoboCop 2, and he was Ripper in Last Action Hero, as well as loads of TV. And the two people I recognised the most, I think, were Mary Ellen Trainor, a staple of 80s and 90s movies, from Die Hard, The Goonies, and the Lethal Weapon films. Stan Shaw as well, from Daylight, Cutthroat Island, and Snake Eyes. So, unlike Gremlins, The Goonies, and Ghostbusters, it doesn't begin with a G. Also, I didn't see it in the 80s, so I don't have any real nostalgia to draw on for this film like I would if I rewatched those. And it's really odd to now watch a film from that time period, especially with child stars who didn't go on to become household names. There's neither of the Corys in this film. There's no Sean Astin, for example. I say I only listed a couple of the child cast because none of them have really gone on to do anything that I know of. So I like the fact this film is actually a little bit scary and quite gory. You wouldn't really get that in a film about 12-year-olds these days. In fact, Goonies and Ghostbusters have some moments like that too. And with Shane Black involved, as you'd expect, there's plenty of humour in the dialogue, even if some of it is very much of its time and probably wouldn't be acceptable now. The Monster Squad wears its B-moviness on its sleeve at all times, and the overall slightly arch delivery makes it good fun. Scenes of the squad on their BMXs are quintessentially 80s, and they feel like they may have inspired things like Stranger Things and the comic series Paper Girls years later. Some of the film is a bit silly by modern standards, and the visual effects lack the polish of the practical ones due to when it was made and the budget. But sometimes, for me, scenes felt like they were vignettes. They worked on their own, but never quite linked together as well as in other movies of a similar nature. It had the young adventure charm of, say, The Goonies, and the B-movie shtick of Tremors, but there was something missing for me. I almost felt like the order of the scenes we're in would have worked better moved around a bit. And for once, I actually felt this could have been longer. I do wonder if there's a cut anywhere that is longer than the 82-minute version we saw, which felt very short indeed. When Monster Squad works, it really works, and there are some clever set pieces, some laugh-out-loud moments, and some really creepy scenes. But without the benefit of seeing it in my formative years, it wasn't the must-see movie that I'd hoped. So, very hit and miss. As I say, the edit I just felt like there were certain scenes that could have been pulled forward to make the story make a little bit more sense or get you to understand the characters a little bit better. And I don't think it quite had those iconic lines you'd be quoting again for me. But having said all of that, I'm going to give the Monster Squad a slightly generous 3 bags of action out of 5. Mainly as we don't do half bags, and I just didn't feel right giving Shane Black a 2. Because there is enough here to like. So have you seen the Monster Squad? Probably many years before I did. Do you agree with my assessment of it? Feel free to comment below, or you can get in touch with us. You can do that on email, Facebook, or on Twitter. We have new episodes coming out each week, including, of course, our full-length podcast. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you get regular notifications. Bags of Action will always be free, but if you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do that at our Ko-fi page.